This is a presentation of DirecTV, exclusive home of the Red Zone channel, the Fantasy Zone, the Dan Patrick Show, 20 years of NFL Sunday Ticket, the Rich Eisen Show, and America's premier source for sports television.
The Royals last won in '85. Most of this team was not alive. It's pre-iPhone. The uniforms were baby blue. And topping the charts was a band called Aha. And the players were Charlie Lee, Brent Quisenberry pitched, George Brett, Frank White, Saber Heron Cook, Bianca Lana, and Gubik Saw. Now they got Kane, Yokia, Herrera, and a Crow, Finnegan, Ventura, and a bunch of other players that I don't know. Who's Christian Colon? I don't know any Royal. Are they still in KC? Is Whitey Herzog still there? He's chubby with white hair. I don't know any Royals, but I'll grab a beer and watch. Oh, and I'll cheer for what's his face and that guy there. The box score starts right now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Coward for box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, joined by the Danettes out in the New York City Man Cave. I don't know why we wouldn't talk about fat people singing and beauty after that kind of opened. McLovin the Sage was set for Todd to sing to the beautiful Erin Heatherton today. What do you think he was more excited about, Chrissy Teigen or Erin Heatherton?
Oh, it's an equal tie at the top level of possible excitement. I mean, he's been subtly working this Erin Heatherton second booking, and I can already see the wheels turning for a third booking. And how did we get to the singing today? I don't even remember.
I'm not sure. Dan just kind of brought it up because we did the spooning thing with all of you, all of me with Chrissy, and then he just kind of threw it out there. Do you want to sing to Erin? And I'm not one to, regardless of how poor my singing skills are, I'm not going to turn that down, especially if it's a Victoria's Secret supermodel or swimsuit model involved. So I'm all in, regardless of how it turns out.
Brock, the I-Team has a story. We just got into the studio. Some of the Danettes and some of the other people on the crew were outside getting some lunch, and we were discussing, is Fritzy a good singer? And that's one topic. Does Fritzy think he's a good singer as a secondary topic? Where do you weigh in on this, Brock?
Well, how about we just let the tape speak for itself? That way I don't need to be too judgmental. Please roll it, DJ.
Wow.
Brock, you're better than that.
Tonight I celebrate my love for you, and soon this whole world will seem brand new. Tonight no one's gonna find us. We'll leave the world behind us when I make love to you. Tonight I celebrate my love for you.
Do you know Lionel Richie?
I do.
Okay, can you sing You Are?
You are the sun, you are the rain that makes my life this foolish game.
Oh, you found it! I like that one.
You need to know I love you so, and I'll do it all again and again. Whoa, whoa.
That was great.
Thank you.
I love that one. So time to turn.
Thank you.
Little hug initiation.
Oh, man. A couple things. I mean,
Couple of
I think
things.
Seton brought it up. Her level of hotness, I don't think, overshadows the level of poor singing. Also, I look at that, and I can't imagine how the same biological process produced the same
Really
two
nice.
human beings. Like,
So mean.
it's just, it's
So
like
unnecessarily
alpha
mean.
to the omega. It's spectrums.
You know what wasn't shown there? They actually, Fritzy kicked off this medley with Sheena Easton
I
in
did.
a semi-falsetto because Sheena Easton was the Cougar of the Week.
Yeah.
And Erin heard you singing I take the morning train.
Yeah, I was going to do morning train or a strut, put it out, and I think I sung Sugar Walls, which is banned in a lot of parts of the world. In the
I wish it was here.
In the box there. But yeah, we did a little For Your Eyes Only.
I'd like to move to one of those countries where that song and your singing is banned.
Liechtenstein, for sure.
They're mean. These are mean-spirited people I work with.
Did this all really happen today?
This is real life.
This is a
real
dream?
life. This did happen.
Are we all dreaming this, or is this really happening?
It's crazy.
Well, it was a dream for Fritzy today. You ended up getting a plethora of hugs from Aaron. I mean, you got the warm embrace coming in, and then post-performance, I think you got another hug, and with a smooch, and even a bonus hug when she was leaving. And oh, that's soft. It wasn't as A-frame as the first one was. Paulie, is this a record number of hugs for Fritzy?
No, he's done this before. He usually tries to get 3 when 1 or max 2 is what you should have. And the problem is, if you look at the video and if you listen to the second hug, it's hug number 2, you heard the lip smack, and it definitely wasn't her. And hug number 3, he actually rests like this. Yeah, I mean, the chin is on her shoulder, and there's like this nuzzling motion, I would guess.
A nuzzling.
He's a good sport.
No,
she is a very good sport. I don't know what she did or how quickly she, started bathing within minutes after leaving the studio. But she's really cool, as was Chrissy. And when some of these lovely ladies join us and they're willing to play along with my unfortunate persona, that's and be one of the guys. That's very cool. And of course, I'm going to take advantage of the extra hugs when there's a supermodel from Victoria's Secret involved.
Persona.
Yes. Remember, as always, your son is watching. Well, the Todd, Fritz, and Aaron Heatherton romance is growing by the day, but Mark Jackson made the boss fall in love with him by agreeing with him on this topic.
Would you rather be able to throw the ball 100 miles an hour or dunk the basketball? A good dunker. Let's say Rex Chapman prime dunker. Or you throw in a hundy.
Without question, I'd rather throw 100.
Hell yes! Do you understand? Do you feel this here?
This is special. I mean, we're in a zone right now.
I could start dating you, I think, man.
No.
Oh, we can't? Okay.
No.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I was falling in love. My bad.
It's almost like the direct opposite of what we just saw with Fritzy and Aaron Heatherton. It was like they had, like you saw it with Dan, with this great chemistry with Mark Jackson, and then there really wasn't any of that chemistry earlier. Listen, I get that it's sort of an against-the-grain take to be like, yeah, Tim Duncan, he's okay. But throwing 100 miles an hour really isn't that great. It really isn't. Being able to dunk like the all-time greats is a special thing. Throwing a ball 100 miles an hour, who cares?
Nobody's explained why they want to be Tim Duncan. They've just said, well, wait, he's the greatest power forward ever. Did you see those stats? Yeah, I know he's the greatest power forward ever. Do you really want to be Tim Duncan?
I was thinking about your argument for a
I'd rather
second.
be Charles Barkley than Tim
Oh,
Duncan.
I was thinking about your argument for a second. I think what Dan was missing is you guys aren't saying the results of these players. You're saying the game of these players. You said Tim Duncan's game is efficient, boring, and it's deadly. But Vince Carter's game was entertaining.
Yeah.
It's going to be remembered forever. And it wasn't as successful in a team concept. Right. But Dan is thinking rings when you're just saying whose game would you want? Who's like when you're just visceral.
Yeah, I mean, he's called the big fundamental. Exactly. He's totally boring. Also, I guess you get in the value of, if you look at a career, do you want Dan Marino or Joe Montana? Do you want to be super awesome and not win a ring? Is a ring that big a deal? Dan's more of a ring-focused guy. I think we're shallow, highlight-focused guys.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
I
wouldn't mind a ring or two.
Dan's like, there's a million guys who could watch that on, can do that stuff on N1 videos. I'm like, I would kill to be one of those N1
dude,
guys.
Be the professor? Are you kidding me? Be like, man,
hot
this is
sauce?
awesome.
Paulie hot sauce?
All right, we're going to take a break. Coming up, Todd Fritz has some stiff competition for the heart of Aaron Heatherton. Welcome back to the Box Score. Howie Mandel was coming in as you guys were wrapping up with Aaron Heatherton. Paulie, did that handshaking thing even become an issue with Howie since you guys were still sort of engrossed in Aaron?
It did and it didn't. Like I think we were prepared for it. We talked it out before the show and even during the show, but this is a real issue. I find it, I want to be as polite as I can to any guest. And if you know someone has a germ problem, and he's notorious, he might be the most famous germaphobe in America. Yeah. And we've heard that he'll touch elbows to be respectful, but I'm sure does not even want to do that. So when he came in, we all decided none of us are going to initiate a handshake. And no, that's not rude. It's actually very polite. I was lucky enough to meet Howard Stern for 2 seconds in a hallway once when I was at Sirius. And when I was introduced to him, I had to keep my hands at my sides, and it felt very awkward because your natural motion is this. And I think he appreciated it, and I think Howie did too.
Well, yeah, it was on my mind also. I was concerned about how to greet him because I was, especially being the hugger. I know that definitely wouldn't work, but you know, to not be able to shake the hand of someone that agreed to join us in the studio is a little awkward. But obviously, we got to respect his situation, what he's willing and not willing to do as far as interacting with others. And then there was a couple of PR people with him, and I didn't know if they have the same affliction or feeling. So I want to at least thank somebody for helping bring him in. And
what if he only hired people who were OCD and had germ issues?
So I found myself very standoffish to our guest and the people that helped set up the interview because I just didn't know what to do.
Well, I don't think Howie was worried about germs when he received this from Erin. She draped a nice New York Giants blanket over Howie before she left. I mean, does this make you a little bit jealous, Fritzy?
A little bit, but knowing the opportunities I've had with Erin last time she was here, and with Chrissy and various other models that we've had on the show, and the Kate Uptons and all that, I was cool with that. I didn't want to start feeling like she's cheating on me or something like that. She's got a nice, handsome boyfriend. I'm happily married, and if she wants to put a giant blanket over Howie Mandel, who am I to get upset?
I mean, you'd think that she could be doused in bubonic plague, and Howie would be like, you know what? I could overlook it in this kind of situation.
I thought he was going to retch back. I thought he was going to jump back like 3 feet, but he didn't. Todd, looks like you got some stiff competition because Howie was going hard at the supermodel.
As a Victoria's Secrets model, are you wearing underpants right now?
I am wearing underpants.
And that's contractual. That's a contractual obligation, isn't it? It is. You must wear a Victoria's
I don't
Secret.
think they walk around checking to see if she has it.
No, but if you're going to be the
There are
spokesperson
mandatory. There's weekly checks, like drug tests.
Oh, stop.
for your lingerie,
And
Unannounced.
And nobody
Unannounced.
no
Panty
woman
checks.
wears underpants.
No woman wears underpants?
No, they're not called underpants.
What are they? What do you call it? What do you call
Like
it?
your mom may wear underpants.
What is it?
What do you call it,
What
Erin?
do you call what you're wearing?
Panties.
Okay.
Well, me too.
It was an enjoyable exchange, but that was a little too flirty for my taste. Not saying a lot. Once you're starting to talk about, asking her about her undergarments and panties, even I know, I think I know where to draw the line sometimes with our guests. But Howie's also a comedian. I don't know if Erin knew exactly who Howie was or what his background was, but you could also get away with a lot more if you're known to be a silly guy or a stand-up comic. But I was just listening to see how Erin was going to handle what Howie was going. And I'm
Getting a little territorial there.
And I'm certainly not someone that has any kind of expertise in underwear, so I really couldn't join that conversation
You're
even
doing
if I
creepy
wanted
questions,
to.
though.
I
Because
did.
you remember, was it Brooklyn Decker that Dan once you submitted like 10 questions, and
It's probably something
three
about
of
mud
them
wrestling and
were
tickle
like,
fights.
yeah, and Dan was just like, all right, Fritzy, why don't you ask her these questions?
Yes.
And put you on the spot.
Yeah, I did
and
want
it was
that.
really awkward because the questions were so rude.
It had to do with like naked twister and mud wrestling and pillow fights and things
Those
like
are
that,
okay.
which is something I wanted to know, and I'd like to think that a lot of our viewers and listeners would be engaged in and want to hear the response to, as creepy and awful as they may sound, to actually pose that question. So bad that Dan didn't want to personally ask it and had me ask it.
McLovin, if Todd and Howie Mandel had it out for Erin's heart, who do you have in that battle?
Oh, I mean, Howie Mandel, I think, makes a lot of money and is very successful, had a long career. Todd makes a decent living and has a beautiful voice.
I could be more intimate because I have less of I got plenty of issues, but I don't have that issue
That's true.
With the touching. At some point, if you're going to have a relationship with somebody, you may have to interact in certain ways where, skin is touching skin. So
Do
I'm
you
not
think,
sure exactly how
you
that
think
works.
you could beat out Howie? Because my hunch was Howie.
I would go Howie for the reasons you mentioned and probably many, many other reasons. But when it gets down to...
He's got less hair than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when it gets down to taking care of business, you have to be able to, you got to throw the germs out the window. It can't be that way. You got to allow for the contact to happen.
Wow, I mean, that's throwing down the gauntlet with Howie. You just say you're better than him in the bedroom. Okay. Well, I don't know if we can find out that question, but we can. After this, we can play the box score version of Deal or No Deal. Open that case. Welcome back to the box score. Howie Mandel joined the show, a former star of Bobby's World, of course, and was great. McLovin, were you ever a fan of his on Deal or No Deal?
Being totally honest here, I did not watch Deal or No Deal. I actually don't even really know what it is until I heard about it today.
Well, that answers that. Okay, let's get right to it. Well, Fritzy was, and he asked Howie about some of the behind-the-scene details.
I was wondering if there was anything ever flirtatious or any kind of awkward situations among you and the lovely suitcase-holding models.
Any number in particular?
I really like. I actually really like number 3. I do remember a blonde that was number 3.
Yeah, Lisa Gleave. You know, I don't know. She might be single now. Lisa, if you're listening, are you single?
I'm married with 2 kids, but I do love Lisa.
So you're willing to give all that up?
Yeah, of course.
If we could get Lisa on the phone.
I don't want to give it up, but if my wife could be understanding, maybe just like for one special
This could be the
present.
pass.
Yes.
This is the one.
The whole pass.
You know, Howie channeled Dan there for a second. Because sometimes Dan will pose that exact same question to
totally.
Todd. It was funny. They have similar comedic timing when approaching Mr. Fritz.
Yeah, you get put on the spot like that. But I did have a major crush on this Lisa Gleaves, number 3. They were all very attractive. They're all
You didn't
models
just pick that number out of thin air?
No. There was. I remember number 3, and as soon as he mentioned the name, I obviously
she
went
is
Googling.
high in the rotation, if you know what I mean. Now, Fritzy, I see it and I can tell what he's thinking right now. Nothing is more fascinating to Seton and I is the fact that you don't know the name of any of our cameramen who you work with on a daily basis for hours
Well,
a
there's
day.
Bruce and Doug and...
No, none of those are correct
They're
names.
not. William?
Not at all. But you know the name of a girl who has been off TV for 5 years and never spoke a word on TV ever.
That's true.
And you would actually literally have to look up,
Yeah, I really liked Lisa Gleaves.
we know this, but what I'm saying is it's fascinating that you could hold on to that piece of information, but that guy's name over there you don't know.
My priorities are a little out of whack, but I'm still proud of the fact that we had Howie here and I was able to remember number 3.
At this point, might be quicker to ask who you didn't have a major crush on at some point.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh man, I had
might be
the
easier.
biggest crush on her. It's like, how many women are you currently?
But there was something about number 3. I just felt like she was looking at me during the show and opening up the case and showing me.
Oh my God!
We all have our issues.
Oh, not like that. No.
Yeah, Fritzy. Before we move on, what was McLovin's first car?
That would be a Honda Accord.
Good for you.
What's his name?
Frankie. It's Mike.
Okay. Well, guess what? We're going to play our own special edition, the boxcar version of Deal or No Deal in this very special edition of
Worth or worthless?
Here's how it goes. We will show you a product and give you a price of that product. You tell us whether you want this, say it is a deal or no deal, and just leave that item. First item is for you, Seton. You're on the board for DP every day. Now you can work the 1s and 2s on your own time with this USB DJ controller compatible with Mac or PC. We're offering it to you for the price of $135. Deal or no deal?
Wow. Before Seton jumps in, if those were like an old school set of Techniques 1200s, those are like $700-800.
I thought that was. I thought that would be worth about $119. So does that mean that I don't have a deal or I do?
We are giving you the price of $135. You tell us if that's a deal or no deal.
Or do I say worth or worthless?
Is that the over/under?
Where's the hot one?
Is that a good deal? Is that a good deal on that?
Where's Lisa?
Is the
well, it's not a terrible deal. Yeah, all right, fine, I'll take it. I'll pay the $135.
Well, that's a good call because the actual price is $147.28 for that. So it's a good deal.
Oh, there you go.
All right, to the back row, Fritzy. We know how much you liked the tow hitch stripper pole yesterday. So let's see if you're familiar with its worth. If we were to offer it to you for the price of $650, would you take the deal or say no deal? That's just way off.
And that's strictly the pole is being offered as far as.
Only
I'm
the
going to go. It seems a little pricey to me. I think you can get a stripper pole like that for something in the $300-400 ballpark. So I'm going to say that's a little high. And if I was going to guess a price anyway, I would say it should be about half of that.
Well, you were pretty much on there. You said $400. It is $399. But perhaps you can make up the difference with all the. Perhaps you can make up the difference with all the money you're stealing from cab drivers. Front row, Paulie.
Good.
You love SEC football and collectibles. Now you can have both. Mini SEC football helmet set. It features all 16 teams, just to be sure, to keep it out of McLovin's hands because you don't want this to happen.
Cleveland Browns. What do you think
they're out of it.
Oh my God. The whole poster just fell down.
Is this the mini set?
Okay,
Yeah.
our
Destroying
offer
Jordan.
is $150. Paul, you taking that deal or no deal?
I think that's way too much. I don't think that's the actual price because if it was the helmets that are this big, I think it could be that much. But if it's the little ones, I'd say that's maybe $39.95.
Well done, sir. It's $26.99 for that small little collection of helmets.
Nice.
Last one is for McLovin. You are the resident football guru and Dartmouth alum, so why not take a trip back in time with this 1936 Brown versus Dartmouth collectible football poster. We are offering it to you for the price of $45. Is that a deal or no deal?
And that's the actual team uniform on the front.
First of all, I mean, is brown a color or a university? I'm gonna say. I'll say deal. I think that's worth some. That's a vintage, pretty little thing. I'll take it.
Yeah, well, you made some money. Made $4.99. It is $49.99. So that's a good call.
Ooh.
Good job, you guys chose your deals wisely, or at least tried to. Still to come, it's time to prepare for the Danette Football Night in America Challenge. Gather the kids around the TV.
And number one, best dressed this week, little Danny Patrick. Patrick pattern mixes to perfection this week, and he wasn't afraid to take a risk with the color of his tie.
That is true.
What earned him the top spot was knowing that sometimes the best pocket square is none.
Hello.
Boom. Ooh, welcome back to the box score. The boss was named Best Dressed NFL On-Air Talent by GQ. Paulie, how much pressure does this put on Dan to maintain that excellence in fashion?
I think quite a bit. I think Dan was legitimately surprised when Seton read that because I didn't read it before. I wanted to be surprised as well. And Dan's not like a clothes horse. He's kind of a simple dresser. He doesn't go too far either direction. And so I thought he would come in like in the middle. And I think that the problem is though, it was another person who dressed him. So does he say something to this person or just let them do their job
He's
naturally?
a little more daring this year.
Sure.
A little less conservative, a little more.
I think ratings are so solid and the show
there.
is so entrenched, they're just going willy-nilly over there at FNIA.
Patterns and whatnot.
I think the folks at GQ may be paying attention to the box score because we talk about Dan's fashion every week as we play.
The Danette Football Night in America Challenge.
Well, with Dan's tie catching the eyes of the writers over at GQ, we thought we'd ask the Danettes to call their shot this week. We're going to ask, is it going to be a solid, striped, or other pattern tie? And what color will it be for a bonus point? So let's start off with, how about this? Seton, you start us off, please. It's solid, striped, other pattern, and color.
Other pattern, like, could it be
Paisley?
like, all right, yeah, there's a lot of different patterns, but what if it's like it's like a solid color, but then maybe has like a little like diamond kind of thing going on? Does that mean that's another
That
pattern?
counts as other.
Other pattern.
That's other pattern.
All right, I'm gonna go other pattern, purple.
Ooh. Okay, Paulie, your choice.
I'm going to call my shot here, and if I get it right, I'd like to ask for the entire season of this contest to be over, and I'm declared the winner. I'd say he's going to go no tie whatsoever and just put two big middle fingers up to America.
Oh, the Stone Cold, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Fritzy, what do you think?
I'll quit my job if he does that.
I think he's going to have a maroon tie with like little mini rhombuses or trapezoids type kind of design.
That's what rhombus situation.
Rhombi.
McLovin?
Little mini one.
I'm tempted to build off what Paulie said and say he's going straight tuxedo t-shirt, but I don't know if that counts as a tie. So I'm going to go blue with white polka dots, which I think technically is other.
I will go other myself, a purple polka dotted tie. And with that, we go to you, Todd Fritz, who is on tomorrow. On Monday, sorry, Monday.
On Monday, we'll have Reggie Miller, the Hall of Famer from the NBA and TNT, will be back in his weekly role as we get ready for the start of the NBA season. JJ Redick of the Clippers is expected midweek next week, and Bob Costas actually is supposed to be right here to lead us off in the New York City Man Cave next Friday on Halloween morning.
Ooh, bringing in the
Bob
pink
Costas
eye with him.
Right here.
Okay, Thanks for watching The Box Score. Catch us every weekday at 3 p.m. Eastern, or you can on Audience Channel 239, or catch our podcast available on iTunes or at podcast1.com. It's the weekend, kids. World Series, Audience, all that stuff.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey! Thanks for watching The Box Score. Holy cow!
This was a presentation of DirecTV, exclusive home of the Red Zone channel, the Fantasy Zone, the Dan Patrick Show, 20 years of NFL Sunday Ticket, the Rich Eisen Show, and America's premier source for sports television.